Lagot! Deadline pala ngayon.
May nakalimutan ka ba?
Ano nga bang kukunin ko? Ano ba talaga yung kukunin ko?
May nakalimutan ka ba?
Mali na naman. Ano ba yung password ko?
May nakalimutan ka ba?
Good memory makes a difference. Memo Plus Gold, pure and natural bako pamonyera. Lamang ang brainy good.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Memo Plus Gold ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Kuya Kim, ano ba talaga?
Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Welcome to Ano Ba Talaga with Kuya Kim. This podcast is brought to you by Spotify PH and the Pod Network. Kung kayo po ay nakikinig sa podcast na to, press follow. Mas maraming follower, mas maganda. And rate na rin the podcast. Pinakamaganda kung 5 stars po ang rating na bibigyan niyo para ma-attract yung iba. Sabihin nila maganda yung podcast kahit na hindi.
In-insist eh.
Napakasarap tumawa. Alam niyo po itong guest natin today ay itong taong to talagang matagal ko na siya nakilala dahil I remember I used to cover mga Pinoy wrestling events. Doon nagsimula ito, I think. And then, nung pandemic, laging nasa algorithm ko, nagpapatawa. And then now, he's one of the most successful comedians, stand-up comics in the Philippines, the one and only, the big, Red Olero.
Hello,
Red.
thank you. Kamusta po?
Thank you for coming.
Yes, I'm very good. Nakakatawa. Actually, hindi ko na matandaan yung sa wrestling.
Sa wrestling, naalala ko yun eh. Teka muna, ano ang connection mo sa wrestling? Why do I remember you from wrestling?
I used to be part of PWR, one of the, kumbaga parang, there's an era of wrestling na parang nagkaroon ng renaissance. So before, there used to be like a Pinoy wrestling.
Pinoy wrestling,
with sila.
Channel 13.
Yes, exactly. Tapos, nawala. And
Tapos
then,
bumalik mga 2007, 2008.
Tama, yeah. Yung mga ganun. So, I think this was around mga 2010 or something that I joined or maybe even later. Nakalimutan ko na. Those guys started like a parang wrestling company out of like a Facebook group called PWR na it folded nung pandemic. Now I own like my own Filipino Pro Wrestling na actually yun yung pangalan, Filipino Pro Wrestling na promotion. Cheap plug, July 13 next show namin.
Saan yan?
We're on YouTube din, Filipino Pro Wrestling. Sa big studio sa Makati.
Ba't hindi ang Pinoy wrestling?
Yep.
Yan ang wrestling na tunay.
O minsan nga parang meron na kaming training na because sobrang ganda ng training ng mga US wrestlers, di ba? Sabi si Ric Flair, sumusuntok doon sa nakahang na towel. Tapos he's trying to get as close as to the towel as he can without hitting it. Parang ganon. Kami minsan parang dahil medyo lacking in training, sabi ko, pag may adrenaline naman, suntokin mo na lang ng tunay para mukhang totoo, hindi mo kang peke, para ganun. Pero I think we're doing well naman. I think it's a fun thing. Parang ano ko na siya ngayon, parang yun na yung pinaka-hobby ko ngayon, I guess. Just running a wrestling promotion.
So hobby mo yun. Pero ang tunay na career ni Red Olero is of course stand-up comedy.
Yes.
Being funny online as well.
Yeah.
Ikaw isa sa pinaka-present na mga comic online eh.
I hope so. I was a stand-up comedian before pa ako nag-wrestling. So around 2007 I think I started. I was still in college. So nung time na yun, parang naghahanap lang ako ng creative outlet. I really wanted to be like a comic book artist and make comedy, and also I wanted to, madami akong gusto. Like, gusto ko rin maging singer. Gusto ko maging rockstar. Parang ganun. Yung pala, parang nagharap lang ako ng creative outlet. Parang ganun. I've always valued humor. Like, I grew up on Pugad Baboy.
Of course,
you should have him.
Medina.
You should have him on here. Grabe. Very, really great guy to talk to. So I grew up on that, and then I also grew up on like Jim Carrey movies, Adam Sandler movies, eventually Will Ferrell movies. So para talagang yung development ko centered around it. And I got to watch Rex Navarrete for the first time. Somebody gave me a CD.
Yan ang OG, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Rex
He's around in town ngayon.
Oh, but when he's here, actually, I meet up with him.
Oh, great.
Our parents are good friends.
Oh, really?
So, nakikita kami niya ni Rex.
So, yeah, after watching Rex, parang sabi ko I wanted to try out stand-up comedy. There was a group called, there was a contest called Lahapalooza sa Jack TV.
Lahapalooza.
Yeah,
I remember that. Oh.
And then I placed third. And then parang a lot of people said na parang, just keep doing comedy. So I started doing comedy pa with sila Alex Calleja, sila Tim Tayag. And then didn't stop from there. Parang until we binuo na yung Comedy Manila and then tuloy-tuloy na until now. Yeah.
Very close ka sa Cool Pals, di ba?
Yeah, those are the guys na talagang we started Comedy Manila with. Yeah.
Bakit hindi ka napasama sa Cool Pals? Ayaw nila sa'yo?
Actually, original member dapat ako. Oo. Naramdaman ko kasi na parang hindi ako tawag doon, parang feeling ko baka ma-weigh down ko lang sila kasi iba-iba yung dynamic nila sa akin. So at that time din nung gumagawa si James ang nagsimula ng podcast yan. So James kasi ginagawa nila record nila sa bahay ni GB. Sabi ko nung time na yun, parang wala rin akong headspace to do like a weekly thing. Tapos sinabi ko rin sa kanila na if I ever do it, I'll do it on my own. Parang nahihirapan ako na mag-meet up tayo. Taga Muntinlupa pa ako nun. Tapos sa QC sila mag-meet up tayo every week para ganyan. Tapos parang feeling ko talaga parang baka weird yung, parang iba yung chemistry ko sa kanila. Like maybe sometimes we do well, pero parang feeling ko when they eventually got that nong si Rem sa Kasimuman, para ito yung perfect five na talagang that would take it to places. So if ever man nilagay nila ako dun, baka mamaya ako pa yung makasira ng chemistry nila.
Meron silang dynamic.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that's normal.
At some comedy. At some comedy. Walang litaw eh. Lahat sila pag pinakinggan mo yung conversation, matatawa ka sa conversation. Di ba?
May roles eh.
May roles.
Yeah. May and then like you would hear si James saka si GB usually they would kind of like moderate it.
They lead the
Lead
energy.
it. Yeah. And then Mooman would be like parang yung off-tangent guy nila.
Tagahirit na wala sa lugar ko.
Wala sa lugar talaga. And then mamaya-maya, si Rems would come in din. Sobrang rare lang yung niya, pero sobrang may bigat, di ba?
Ang ganda nito. Ang ganda nito. Ganun lang siya. Pero sobrang nag-work eh. I think, teka muna, nakalimutan mo si Roger Naldo.
Si Roger.
Paano si Roger?
Bago kayo si Roger. Si Roger, ewan ko pa. Hindi ko naisip ko pa paano nag-fit in sa
Roger.
Roger.
Alam ko na kung saan si Roger doon. Sound effects.
Nakita ko kayo. Tawa ko dun sa clip mo ng sinabihan mo na onomatopoeia yung ngongo. So parang tawa ko ng tawa.
Nakakatawa nga. Meron siyang meron siyang stand-up gig ngayon.
Ginamit niya.
Ang title, onomatopoeia. Sabi ko mali, hindi onomatopoeia. Ngongo-matopoeia.
dapat nga, no? Ang galing talaga. Alam mo, dun ako parang nung niyaya mo ako mag-guest, parang sabi ko, baka masyadong formal si Kuya Kim, natakot ako. Tapos nakita ko yung clip na yun, sabi ko, walang problema. Kayang-kaya.
Minsan formal, minsan hindi.
May platforms, I guess.
Nagulat din ako sa sarili ko nung yung sa Cool Pals, Red. Kasi hindi ko naman expected na gano'n sila kabastos. Alam ko medyo bastos lang. Pero hindi ko talaga alam na gano'n sila kabastos lang. Sagad, oo. But pupunta ako doon because I wanted to observe how podcasters work.
Yeah.
Ano yung pangatlong guest ko na yun eh? Ang pinag-guestan ko before Cool Pals, magugulat ka bro. Francis Kong.
Ayun, sobrang alayo.
We talked about spiritual things.
Ibang dimension yung...
Ibang dimension. Pagkatapos, Chinkitan.
Oh, wow. Okay. Iba rin.
Very spiritual din. With the business,
business
side. But very born again. Very Christian. Tapos, ang pangatlo, Cool Pals. So, I was expecting it to be a bit out of the box, but not like that. Pero ang nangyari, yung dynamics, napakaganda eh. Kasi it was totally unexpected. I didn't expect them to be like that and they didn't expect me to be this way as well. Pero yung sweet spot, patok eh, no?
Doon sila feeling ko doon sila natuwa eh. Nung nalaman nilang, we can go here, then okay na. Alam mo yun, parang wala silang problema. They won't hold back. Ang art doon, kasi may mga tao na gumagaya or parang kala nila parang basta bastos tayo, gagana siya. Hindi. These are 5. And kasama na si Roger. 6 really good stand-up comedians na they know how to timing, blocking, and also a mastery of doing that, yung tightrope of what's taboo and what's not to, what you can talk about and what not to talk about. Tightrope walking talaga siya.
I think the whole show tightrope eh.
Yeah. It is.
On the verge of getting cancelled all the time.
It's social daredevil. Parang ganun yung...
But it's also commentary.
Yes.
I think the reason why you guys, kasama ka, why you are so patronized now, pagod na rin ang tao sa maraming woke. Napakaraming oversensitive online na pag nakakakita sila ng taong matapang, pareho ni Red Olero at ng Cool Pals, they gravitate towards that. Kasi ang humor ninyo very before the era of political correctness.
Yes.
Very 1970 pa.
Oo, kasi doon kami lumaki, Kuya Kim eh. Oo. 90s, di ba? Pag palibasa lalaki, cool ka lang, yun yung mga paborito ko
Palibasa
sitcom.
lalaki, Brad. Binabato-bato sa ere si Cynthia Patag. Di ba? At the end of the show, nagbabasaan. Tapos ibabato ni Joey Marquez si Cynthia Patag kay Richard Gomez. Tapos ibabato kay John Estrada.
Tsaka yung bubble gang pa dati, Kuya Kim, talagang may religious parodies, di ba? Grabe.
Brad, ginawa yung
Ang dating
9/11.
Yun, ginawa nila ng joke yun.
Ginawa ng joke.
Oo.
Si Saddam Hussein.
Yes.
Tapos, gawin mo ngayon yan, cancel ka eh.
Tsaka walang hesitation. Parang like, walang tusun-tusun. Parang ito yung nasa headline, gawin natin ito ng joke. Ganun talaga. Grabe.
Pero ikaw din, Red, matapang ka rin eh. Alam mo, napapanood kita online eh. Unang-una, matapang ka sa political commentary.
Yes.
If I would say, dahil sinabi mo, influence mo si Paul Medina.
Yeah.
Ang comedy mo, very Paul Medina rin eh.
Yes.
Nakakatawa, pero may pisil. May kurot sa kamalayan, na pampolitika. Hindi ka takot mamatay?
Takot naman. Pero parang naisip ko rin, parang pag nakikita ko pag nanonood ako ng mga Christian Esguerra or Ronnie Llamas na mga vlog, parang naisip ko, parang kung may papatayin sila muna yung mamamatay. Tapos may warning ako kung kailan ako titigil. Parang ganun. Ewan ko.
Sabagay, matapang si Christian.
Hindi ko siya iniisip, Kuya Kim. Parang ang comedy ko kasi, comedy is really hard enough to do. So, inisip ko, whatever you think of or parang whatever you feel like, yun yung method ko eh. Kung anong naramdaman ko, what I consume. Kunwari, it's the same lang yung process if natuwa ako sa isang bagong pelikula at gagawan ko ng joke. At nainis ako sa issue ng politika at gagawan ko ng joke. Same lang yun para sa akin. Hindi ko siya parang tinututok na dapat political yung joke ko, dapat ganito, dapat ganyan. And yung online nga lang na mapanood ko, napanood nyo ako live.
Mas grabe.
Medyo, may mga talaga.
Minsan may napanood ako online, pero ito sa a tape telecast of yung live mo. You had more than 1,000 in the audience.
Yeah.
Ang dami mong...
That was after Lenny lost, I think.
After Lenny. And you were puro Duterte jokes.
Yes.
Nun.
Yun yung mga, I think talagang, as an artist, parang pag hindi mo in-express, baka mag-implode ka eh. Parang yun yung pakiramdam ko ng time na yun eh. It was coming off the pandemic, so para talagang, alam mo yun, very, very politically aware yung mga tao, lalo na ng presidential elections na yun. And nag-rally pa ako for Lenny. So, andun ka. Alam mo yung mga nangyari, inner workings and everything.
Ang daming hugot.
Oo, ang daming hugot, sobra. The actual show ran for 2 hours, 15 minutes. And I think an hour of that was just political jokes. But I've never released the whole cut. I just used it to pitch to Netflix. And then Netflix said, na we like it but it was shot really terribly. we can't show it. Sabi ko, okay, let's just reshoot and take out all the political parts. Parang ganun. And then that's what came to be yung Netflix special ko na Mabuhay Sa Lie.
Napakatalino mong comic.
Oh, thank you.
Saan ang hugot mo? Nagbabasa ka ba? Nanonood ka ng mga ibang comedian?
Malaki yung influence ko with other comedians, yung style-wise, not the material-wise. Like, yung fearlessness din ng mga ibang tao, like si Conan O'Brien, I think. He has a very, very, hindi siya super political guy, pero he has a very good way of handling commentary or hindi naman politics, more like kahit issues lang and everything. Conan is one of my influences. Si Bill Burr, ito medyo controversial si Louis C.K. because si Louis C.K.
Sino siya?
Louis C.K. is a really, I would say, one of the greatest comedians ever na stand-up. Kaso nagkaroon siya ng sexual harassment. Na-cancel siya, no? Which was, kahit ito medyo controversial, if you actually watch his specials after niya ma-cancel, ganun siya ka-genuine. He would actually expose himself na okay, parang ito yung pinanggalingan ko and I will do comedy about it. Parang ganun. So I found that very genuine. Pero
nakakatawa ba?
Really good. Really good. Even before, the way na parang he did the joke. Ewan ko, pwede ba sa tito? Pwede ba?
Pwede.
Okay. So,
pwede.
Ito yung parang
Nag-guess ko nga
eye-opening.
rito Cool Pals eh.
Oo nga pala.
Pwede rito.
Wala na. Kung nag-guess na yung Cool Pals dito, the bar has been set. Wala na.
yun.
Wala ka ng problema. Meron siyang joke na para very eye-opening para sa akin as a comedian. Because before, I thought you could only joke about things people cared about or parang what they see. So pag nakita nila ako mataba akong comedian, I can only joke about being fat. Parang ganun yung feeling ko.
Kadalasan, that's a trap.
Yeah.
Go.
And this guy, totally off the cuff, sinabi niya lang, nag-drive ako, parang I was driving somewhere and someone cut me off and then I cut him back off and then he rolled down his windows and told me, "Hey man, suck a bag of dicks." Yung sinabi niya. And then he sped away. And then yung joke goes like, "But I was very curious, how do you suck a bag of dicks? Like, do you get the bag of dicks and take the dicks out and suck it individually? Or do they come in like in a bag of baguettes that the dicks are hanging around?" So parang ginago lang siya ng isang guy driving. Tapos he made like a whole bit out of it. Tapos ako parang, okay, yun yung gusto kong gawin. Like something na hindi mo in-expect or maybe you go through every day that you don't see that you can make a laugh about. And then, dun yung ginawa ko. So, I think nag-translate lang yung style na ganun to everything. Now, I'm pissed off at the administration. So, galit ako sa gobyerno, yung mga decision nila. This is how I would cope. Parang ganun. And maybe I could spread a little bit of laughter regarding these situations. Parang ganun. Because it's a grim situation. And usually pag pinag-uusapan, pag dinner, di ba, minsan, wag natin pag-usapan yan. Kasi,
sa dinner table, bawal dapat ang politika at bawal ang religion.
Yes. I would now look at bakit hindi. Bakit hindi natin pwedeng pag-usapan ng religion, ba't di pwedeng pag-usapan ng politika? And then challenge myself to find a way to laugh about it. Parang ganun. So, it has been fruitful most times. Pero may mga times din na hindi.
Define a good comedian.
Oh man. I think a good comedian, one, timing, really essential. I think hindi siya matuturo. Yung
Hindi
timing.
matuturo.
There are people na
Tone
I feel
deaf.
like they're, yeah, exactly. Ako rin. Like, I'm tone deaf sa music. May mga tao din na parang feeling ko parang, alam mo yung mga minsan may mga nakakausap ka na mag-joke as parang hindi na gets. Parang, alam mo yun? May mga ganong tao. Timing is one. The next one I think is originality. You need to have like a fresh perspective on things. If we're talking about like good stand-up comedy na talagang I feel like dapat hindi ka nang gagaya.
Dapat di ka nagagaya.
Yeah. It has to be original. Like, you could be funny at a dinner table and say joke book jokes. Pero when you're charging people tickets,
Ay, oo.
diba? It has to be fresh, yeah.
Oo.
May mga tao kasi na minsan parang, lalo na dito, they don't have the ethics minsan na hindi manggaya ng joke. Sa stand-up kasi, lalo na sa States, cardinal sin yan. If you do like a joke book joke or an internet joke or someone else's bit, hack ka na nun. And you'll be branded as such and hindi ka na ibubuk sa mga comedy club. Dito, hindi pa masyado. I think there are people, I think may mga comedians na iba na parang minsan naghihiraman pa sila ng joke. Parang ganun. Hindi sa stand-up circle. Like sa mga iba-ibang comedy. Or parang, kahit sa TV or movies, diba? Parang parating may mga recurring jokes na ginagamit or mga ganong klase. Sa stand-up, bawal talaga. So, those are two things na I think very essential. Timing and then yung material. That's it.
Di ba sa Amerika yung mga stand-up comic, minsan bumibili ng joke?
Yeah.
Di ba may mga nagbebenta ng joke?
Yeah, they hire
Napanood
writers.
akong movie nung 1990s, si Tom Hanks. Binibili niya yung mga joke.
Yeah.
Tapos na doble.
Yeah.
Tapos wala pang cancel pag nagkagulo sila, di ba?
Merong ganong scene na doon. Sobrang laki na ng industriya na doon. You could just find people na would write jokes for you, I guess. Parang, di ba si Jokoy na trouble niya siya, di ba, sa
si Jokoy.
Golden Globes?
Tama.
Meron siya mga writers and everything. I think that's a different thing kung if you have someone writing for you. Kasi imposible nga naman, kunwari, kung si Conan ka or si Jay Leno ka or si Jimmy Kimmel ka na everyday may monologue ka. For sure, may writers ka. Pero pag stand-up kasi, very personal ang stand-up. It's the world in your point of view. So, dapat, if you are not practicing how to express kung ano nasa isip mo, hindi stand-up yun for me. Dapat talagang ganun yung very personal dapat siya.
Sino mas magaling? Si Jokoy? o si
Rex?
Si Rex Navarrete.
Si Rex. Oo naman. I would go out on a limb na si Rex is OG talaga. And I think yung mastery niya of of stand-up is underrated din eh. Kasi a lot of people think na parang it's just Filipino stories with accents. But if you would look at it, meron siyang timing na sobrang wild na magkasalita siya na matagal telling a story but walang laughing points, walang punchlines. And then but he's such a good storyteller that you're hooked. So you're waiting for mamaya hindi mo napapansin. Storya na lang to, it's just a really good story. Mamaya, and then the punchlines come and then it's one after the other. Paulit-ulit, sobrang galing. Grabe.
Parang boksingero, no?
Oh, ako hindi ko kaya magkwenta ng I can't live on stage going for siguro a minute nang wala pang tumatawa. Panic ako kasi parang feeling ko dapat tumatawa na kayo kasi binabayaran niyo ako para patawanin kayo. Parang ganon. Siya talagang kalmado, ganyan. Him tsaka si GB. Have you seen GB Live?
GB Labrador.
GB Live? Yeah. Kita mo na?
Hindi pa. Pero kilala ko si GB as a writer.
Yeah.
Nakatrabaho ko sa ABS nung nasa ABS pa ako.
GB is like the most well-rounded comedian we have, I think.
You think so?
Yeah. So one, he can do his sets in English. That's one. Two, material, always great. Very insightful.
Dahil writer?
Yeah, writer siya eh. Tapos, three, yung act-outs niya. Parang he knows his face eh. Alam niya kung paano niya gagawin lang yung babaluktutin niya lang yung ikukulot niya lang yung eyebrows niya and it's like a different kind of expression na nakakatawa. Iba-iba, I would say. I think dito locally, GB, James, Karaan, I don't know if you've seen si Victor Anastasio.
Well, kilala ko si Victor at nag-guest ko na minsan sa TikTok Lock eh.
Oh, okay.
Sinabi ko sa kanya, alam mo, kakaiba yung comedy mo, keep it up dahil natatawa ko sa kanya.
Si Victor naman, I admire material. He's really
kasi sinasabi niya, hindi siya nakakatawa, pero nakakatawa siya. Ginagamit niyang material, yung pagiging mataas na comedy niya.
Yes. Oh. Super, super galing. And then si James naman is the energy. That's the hardest comedian to follow for me. Si James. James Karaan. Si James Karaan kasi parang kapag nanood ka ng comedy niya, para siyang roller coaster ride na like kung gagawin mo silang perya lahat, si GB siguro yung masaya na ride na pwede pang lahat na pleasurable, uulit ka, ganong klase. Si James pagkatapos ng ride mo kay James parang pagod na pagod ka.
Ito yung extreme na roller coaster.
Si James season dumada pa sa stage. Feeling ko kung kaya mag-backflip ni James, mag-backflip siya sa
talaga?
Kung kaya niya. Pero talaga nakadapa sa stage, ganon, sumisigaw, energy, tumatakbo. Matapos ni James, kailangan niya magpalit ng damit eh. Ganun siya ang klaseng comedian. Oh. So, isipin mo, sundan mo yan.
Oo nga. What do you think of yung comedy na nangaapin ng tao?
Alam mo, in a way, lahat naman, all jokes naman, somebody has parang in the butt of it eh. Alam mo yan?
Merong punching bag.
Yeah, may punching bag talaga. I think, it just so happens kung anong klaseng way mo sila inasar eh. Like, kunwari, kung inasar ako na mataba, ganyang klase, okay lang, parang shallow and everything. Pero pag sinabi sa akin na, yung mga jokes mo naman, nagbabayad ka lang ng taong tumatawa eh. Parang iba na yun, di ba? Parang, parang ganun. So I think, depende pa rin sa material.
Depende.
In a way na nagka-crowd work, parang ganun, I think there's a way to, kasi I do crowd work shows, Kuya Kim.
Pag sinabi mong crowd work show, ano yan?
I would do 2 hours, no material. And I just talk to people. Tapos, meron silang...
Parang jester sa TV.
Bago
mag-show, may jester mo.
Yes, exactly. So pero meron silang mga microphones and I would have really like 30-minute conversations live with them and draw out comedy from there. Not necessarily against them, but whatever we talk about, like kunwari, I talked with a guy na engineer siya. Tapos tinatanong ko kung paano iba-ibang klaseng engineer, mga ganong klase. Yun yung pinag-usapan namin. Not necessarily masama siyang tao or pangit siya or mukhang kikiam yung titi mo. Parang ganun, di ba? Hindi ganun. Di ba? More of kung ano yung sinasabi niya. That's where the comedy lies within. Parang ganun. So, I think material talaga. It's still boils up on material.
Yung totoo, who's on your FYP right now? Is it your fave content creator? The one you're always watching, liking, or saving quietly? How do you support them para tuloy-tuloy ang pag-create nila ng content you love? Share it with Wally. If you're Pinoy, 18 and above, and a fan of any content creator, yes, kahit ako pa yan, kwento mo lang. Who knows, you might win 1,000 pesos just for sharing your story. Just go to the Fourth Wall Facebook page, check the pinned post for the survey link and all the details. Support your creators. Kwento mo na yan kay Wally.
Yung self-deprecating humor.
It's my favorite.
You like to make fun of yourself, di ba?
Yes. I think that's where it starts.
Why does it work?
Well, kasi parang in front of a live crowd, I think if people are gonna be nervous about laughing, lalo na Pinoy, we're very empathic towards anong pwedeng gawin socially. So now, you're locked in a room, 100 people. Strangers to. Pag Pinoy ka, kinakapamay. Ano bang pwede kong gawin dito? Pwede ba akong magwala rito? Pwede ba akong tumayo sa mesa at maghubad, di ba? Parang gano'n. Anong normal dito? So, when you come in, lalo essential din pag nag-open ka as a comedian, when you come in and you do self-deprecating humor, you're laughing about yourself. Now, you put the crowd at ease. Kasi, okay lang pagtawanan siya. Okay lang pala
Hindi pikon to.
So now, nagisimula na yung energy of, it's a fun-loving environment. Pwede tayo tumawa, pwede tayong humalakhak.
About ourselves?
Yeah, about ourselves. And then now, it opens up everyone's open-mindedness na, okay, biniktima mo yung sarili mo. Now, pwedeng maging
Tsaka pwede ka namin biktimahin din.
Yeah, pwede kang biktimahin din or kahit anong, or things maybe you care about. Like kunwari, baka fan ng superhero movies isa and you have a joke about superhero movies. Diba? If you don't joke about yourself first, they might not be as open.
Sabi ng marami, ang downfall ng comedian pag nagmamaganda. Explain.
Pag pumaporma na kami, kuya, hindi na kami nakakatawa, parang ganun eh. Kahit itong buho ko, minsan, ang init na. Alam mo yun? Pero sige, lugay tayo sa stage kasi for some reason, the visual helps you not to become threatening. Alam mo yun? Pero I challenge the notion din. There are people minsan na they look good, but the material is funny enough, you will laugh. Minsan may mga ganun. I think on the same plane din of thinking, may mga ibang tao na they say na may mga topics na hindi pwedeng pagtawanan, di ba? Parang ganun. Minsan, pag nagsabi na ako ng keywords, simbahan, church, Catholic, Jesus, naramdaman mo yung parang pag-crossing of arms ng mga tao sa ulo nila.
Language.
Parang ganun. Hindi ako tatawa dito. And now, sa utak ko, okay, then your material must be really, really good to overcome these cultural
biases.
Yes. So, kailangan talaga material pa rin. So, parang, I guess, kung nagmamaganda ka, parang hinahandicap mo lang yung sarili mo kasi kailangan mas malakatawa yung material mo.
Ano ang pinaka-difficult na joke na naitapon mo?
Oh, man. Pwede ko ba sabihin dito yan?
Pwede.
Okay. Difficult. I have a joke. There's a few. Meron akong joke na commentary on EJK. And it starts with sino dito tinulungan na ng police? Or parang, it's mali-mali, sorry. Sino ditong first thought na pag may nangyari sa'yo, pupunta ako sa police magpapatulong. Parang ganun. It was a commentary on, I feel like we should raise the standards on who gets to carry a gun or not. Tapos, nag-explain ako ng situation where kailangan ko pumunta sa presinto. Tapos, i-explain na, may nagnakaw ng ganito ko, kailangan ganyan. Tapos, pinagsalaysay ako. And the joke was parang, salaysay. So, pumunta ako dun, pumunta ako sa labas, wala na ang aking kotse. Mga ganun. Parang ganun, nagtalumpati ako, kunwari. Parang ganun yung joke. And then, it goes on into a joke na remember yung time na nagbarilan yung PNP tsaka PIDEA?
Tama, sa Magallanes.
Yes, so parang ginawa ko siyang proof na parang the punchline was parang nagbarilan sila and then nakapatay, parang may sakatan namatay or something. For 2 hours sila nagbarilan. So sinabi ko ang punchline, tingnan mo, 2 oras sila nagbarilan, isa lang yung namatay. Hindi talaga sila dapat nagdadala ng baril. Parang ganun. It was a punchline naman talaga. Pero sa utak ko minsan, every time I throw it, parang iniisip ko, it must be, kailangan ma-realize nila, the joke was not about, nagbarilan yung police, patayan sila. It has to be about, guys, tignan nyo, these are the people that we trust with guns. So, dapat, iintindihin natin na baka there should be more dialogue about them carrying guns. Because tingnan mo nga yung nangyari din sa EJK and
Commentary.
everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Paul
Yun yung-
Medina ang idol mo eh. Si Paul Medina, ganyan din, pero cartoon
Oh,
style.
man, grabe.
Malalim si Pugod Baboy.
Yung mga tao minsan di nila paborito, pero pag gusto ko yung panels is si Dagul lang tsaka yung aso si Pulgas. Pag inuman lang nag-uusap siya, ganyan kakapal yung ito yung buong picture tapos 3/4 yung words. Doon ako nag-enjoy kasi parang what great takes,
Oo.
di ba? Oo.
Iba rin ang utak ni Paul.
Yeah.
Lodi ko rin yan eh.
Oo.
Sa lahat ng joke na nasabi mo, magmula nung simula ang career mo, anong pinaka nakakatawang joke sa tingin mo? Hindi kailangan nakakatawa ngayon, pero kung sa tingin mo nakakatawa, ano yun?
Wow. I think meron ang favorite ko talaga when I do jokes about growing up as a Catholic boy. Because I did grow up as a Catholic like any other human here sa Philippines.
90% of us
90%, yeah. So I do a lot of commentary on it. Tapos na-proud ako because a lot of people usually pag religious content they get offended, people get canceled. And I remember there was an issue na yung isa Ateneo ata or some guy na parang yung host chat, tinake home niya, tapos ginawa niya ng review, parang ganong klase. Tapos sinight yung joke ko.
Totoo nangyari yan?
Totoo nga nangyari yan. Sinight yung joke ko dun sa isang article as a way to tastefully do religious jokes. And that joke was, alam mong matakaw ako kasi nung nag-first communion ako, tapos natikman ko yung host chat, na-disappoint ako sa lasa. Kasi nag-expect ako na masarap siya. Parang ganun. So the joke was parang I'm kind of disappointed sa lasa ng host siya kasi medyo hinipe siya ng mga tao na parang di ba, dapat grade 2 ka lang bago mo siya matikman. So parang hinipe sa utak mo, nakala mo masarap siya. Pero hindi siya. And then the joke goes on na parang nagsuggest ako na baka pwedeng lagyan ng dips yung mga host siya, mga ganong klase. That I think is one of my favorite ones talaga.
Wala namang na-offend dun sa joke mo?
Actually, interestingly enough, mas may na-offend pa na nag-joke ako about eraser heads or cheeseburger na may cheese sa loob, mga ganun. Pag may mga jokes ako na, di mo talaga i-expect kung ano eh. This one, may mga usual na, wag mo kausap, it's the Eucharist, ganyang klase. Yun yung problem nila kasi parang they don't want, which is tama naman. Like parang if you really believe in it, yung things in the scripture shouldn't be talked about that way. But there are people from mga seminarista, they would approach me and say na, that's a really good take on your experience. Parang I don't think it's offensive at all. Parang niloko pa niya ako na actually gusto mo maglagay tayo ng dip sa sunod ko misa, parang ganong klase.
Brad, they say that the funniest comics are the most lonely. Tama, mali?
There's some truth in it. Yeah. Hindi naman sobrang extreme pero there's a lot of comedians, lalo na if you write your own material, there's a lot of introspection going on. So even if makaisip ka ng joke, meron ding introspection na parang, pag sinabi ko ba to, ano maging effect nito? Matawa ba sila or maano sila? Parang ganong klase. Maraming times na nakatira ka sa utak mo. So I think that's where it comes from. So what my solution is, lalo na kung nakita mo, you have to learn from your predecessors like sila Robin Williams.
Robin Williams committed.
Yeah.
No? Yeah.
And dami sa amin na comedians that are, ako, thank God, ADHD lang. But the other ones, they have clinical depression.
Yes. Yeah.
Mga ganong klase.
I
make it to a point. I make it to a point na talagang, it has to be a social thing. Like when, meron dapat community within the comedians na meron kayong support group. Yeah, like Cool Pals, may sarili silang mga grupo, ganyan. I have a group chat with sila James, GB, si Victor, may ganun kami. May group chat. May daming permutations and iterations of group chat. Because I think, importante siya. Because we live in our heads too much pag ganun eh. Pag in-isolate mo siya as, gawin ko lang yung jokes sa alis na ako, I think that's where it gets really dark. So, kailangan ma-humanize mo rin yung part na yun. You always talk to other comedians and people who can relate. Parang ganun.
The funniest Pinoy comedian who ever lived.
Ever lived? Oh, man.
From the history of the Philippines up to now. Paano pa ni Magellan hanggang ngayon?
Jose Rizal. Wow, ang hirap.
Isa lang.
Isa lang?
Isa lang.
Ang hirap, Kuya Kim. Grabe.
The first person that comes to mind is him.
GB Labrador.
GB Labrador? Ganyan kabilib ka kay GB Labrador?
Yeah.
Ang tindi mo, GB!
Magaling talaga.
Kilala mo si Dolphy, Brad?
Kuya Kim, pumunta ka sa isang brick wall na show
Oh.
or some bar show ni GB where he does probably like 45 to an hour. Galing. Kahit si Rex Navarrete, we would enjoy watching GB together. And then Rex would like, oh, please do the burger machine joke. Please do the ganyan joke and everything. Si GB lang talaga true artist siya. Parang talagang nahirapan siyang i-promote yung sarili niya masyado. So I would go out on a limb and say, ayun, di ako magkakamali. I think if you buy a ticket and go watch GB Labrador, pag di kayo natuwa, i-refund ko. Ganong level. Promise.
Ang tindi. Meron po tayong Chiquito noong 1970s, meron tayong 1960s, meron tayong Dolphy, meron tayong Vong Navarro, meron tayong meron tayong Vice Ganda. Pero to Red Oliero, the greatest Pinoy comedian who ever lived is GB Labrador.
Still living pa.
Still living. But I really have to watch GB.
Yes.
Ang alam ko kay GB, a lot of people say that he's a good man.
Yeah.
Mabait na tao.
Yes. I don't think the comedy scene would flourish if he wasn't at the helm of it all. I mean, not at the helm na parang, mga empleyado kami. But he's like more of like a parang spiritual leader. Parang gano'n kasi, no? Parang vision niya, standards niya, values niya, yun yung basis ng Comedy Manila. Parang gano'n. And I would say talaga, leading by example din. Kasi talagang, lalo na if you know how stand-up comedy is done, talagang chef's kiss talaga yung mga material niya. It's great stuff, man. Talaga. And very well executed din. Parang ganun. Yeah.
Of all the comedians that ever lived, panahon pa ni Jose Rizal hanggang ngayon, kailangan may pangalan,
Okay.
who's the worst Pinoy comedian ever?
Oh, man. Bakit?
Si Red Oliero matapang. Masabi kaya niya.
Ito lang wala, sige fine. Walang bias. I would say Jokoy.
Bakit, Chokoy?
I think it's just a gross misrepresentation of our culture minsan. May mga, I think kasi kasalanan din ng mga tao na nag-expect na magiging Filipino experience siya. But he's Filipino pero Filam. So when he says the Filam stuff, he would have yung perspective niya on us is coming from where he is na malayo. Parang ganun. I think worst because meron siyang widespread attention or parang nag-spew siya ng perspective or parang nag-spew siya ng facts of what Filipino is. But it's not. So yun lang yung problema ko dun. And he's been very good to me nga. Parang nag-open ako sa kanya for his Moa Arena show. But before that, parang ang ginawa kong way to grab his attention was I roasted him in front of it. He was a good sport and everything. Pero I think what's gotta stop din talaga with what he does is that meron siyang mga things na sinasabi about the Filipino na parang doesn't sit well with me. And I've discussed it with a lot of creatives na parang,
like what?
Like kunwari, his mom is always the punchline.
Yeah.
That's
correct.
one.
Yeah.
But if you're Filipino, you alam mo yun, Diyos sa may nanay mo. Alam mo yun, ganun.
Our society is very matriarchal.
Yes.
We look up to moms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that in itself, yun pa lang, your best joke is not reflective of actual Filipino,
Actually, you
Filipiniana.
can make fun of your dad, but never of your mom.
Exactly. Ako, I every time I bring up my mom sa jokes ko, she's always the sane person. Ako yung, kumbaga parang, yung mom ko galit na naman sa akin, o yung mom ko ashamed of me, o yung mom ko ganun. Siya yung standard. Because, man, I can't joke about my mom that way. Yun yung akin. I think I discussed that with Direct Joey Reyes. Parang we had like a discussion before. Shit, sinabi ko lang bigla. Nakasama siya. Dinamay ko lang bigla.
Dalawa na kayong canceled.
Parang yun yung usapan na parang, parang punchline niya parati yung mom niya. So parang, And then I told them na parang, kung Pinoy ka talaga, if you're being genuine about yourself, I don't think you can joke about your mom that way. I don't think you would embarrass, your mom that way.
If Choco is the worst comedian ever, why is he the most successful Pinoy ever?
Yun din yung caveat. I think that's what makes it, kumbaga parang kaya ako siya binigyan ng category of that is because siya rin yung siya rin yung may pinakamalaking platform to cause damage. Parang ganun. That success would, before Jokoy comes here, he would open for Russell Peters, he would come to our shows and do 30 minutes, ganyang klase. He would talk, ganyang klase. Walang problema. Parang kumbaga, okay yung joke man, di ko nakatawa ng konti, pero tawag doon, walang problema. Pero ngayon kasi parang, Filipinos are hip-hop. May ganun pa siya. So parang, no, we're love songs, bro.
No, we're not hip-hop. Yeah.
We're not hip-hop.
Well, the hip-hop community is growing.
Yeah, it is. Pero
but it's still very niche. Kung di man tayo, Brad. Love
exactly.
songs.
Love
ballad.
songs. Yes, exactly. Kahit gitara lang, kahon. Diba? Yun na yun. So parang may mga ganun siya na parang, di ko alam kung propaganda or ano. I think kasi, it's damaging because people think na he's the representation. Pero I think we should stop. And I think if we just stop expecting him to be the representation of Filipino culture, I think he's not the worst. It's kumbaga parang product din ng expectations ng mga tao sa kanya. Akin, though, if you want Filipino culture being represented on stage, go to your local comedians, diba? Yun yung akin din. So it's not just because of him. It's the more the followers, the expectations, the pedestal he's being put on. Alam mo yun? Parang ganun. That's what makes it terrible.
Love life. How is Red Oliero's love life? Kaunti lang may alam niyan eh.
Girlfriend, live-in. Ewan ko kung tabu sa mga tao, pero yeah, live-in girlfriend.
Ano pangalan, Brad?
Si Kate.
Oh, si Kate?
Yeah.
Si Kate?
Kinabahan ako. Sabi ko, kilala pa ni Kuya Kim lahat. Grabe naman.
Subukan mo, Brad. Si Kate. Maiksi yung buhok, Brad.
Hindi.
Ay, hindi ba?
Mali. Yeah, ano siya, kababata.
Kababata?
Yeah. And she actually watched a lot of my shows.
So nagsimula bilang fan?
Hindi fan. Parang kababata ko talaga. So to support.
Ang galing.
To support. Parang for some reason siya very supportive siya. Parang so taga Muntinlupa kami parehas. Pero mag-show ako sa Pasig. QC. Nakarating na siya. And then parang friends kami. Talagang real friends. And then I think nung mga pandemic parang na-realize ko nga na parang parating nag-uusap kami minsan naalala mo ba nung pumunta ako sa ganyan nag-show ka pa doon sa parang madilim na lugar doon sa may Home Depot. Pumunta ka pala doon, na-realize mo parang grabe, napaka-supportive niya.
At napakalalim na.
Matagal na. So parang doon din parang na-rekindle yung kumbaga parang doon nagkaroon ng bridge towards hindi lang ata friendship ko na siya nakikita ngayon, parang ganun.
3 years na.
3 years na. Actually, naging kami pagkatapos matalo ni Lenny. So malungkot ako. Tapos sabi ko,
hinag mo siya.
Sana ganun kaganda, no? Hindi eh. Sobrang hindi eh. Parang, ewan ko ba?
So, 3 years na kayo, bakit niyo pakasalan?
Tignan natin. Ipon. Pera. Yun naman talaga. Kung bumili kayo ng shows ko, mas mapakasalan ko.
Nakita mo yung camera, di ba? Si Kate yan, Brad. Ano ang message mo kay Kate ngayon?
Hi, Kate. Nakalimutan kong i-run yung dishwasher kanina. So pag umuwi ka, huwag kang magulat na madumi yung kusina.
Kung huhugutin mo ang kaibuturan ng puso mo, Red, ano ang gusto mo sabihin kay Kate ngayon?
Wow, grabe. Ano ba? Boy Abunda na ata. Grabe yung pinapakita ni Kuya Kim yung range niya. Man. Hindi, alam mo, parang tiniloko ko siya parati na sabihin ko sa kanya, pag nag-propose ako, gawin ko sa shoots, naiinis siya sa akin kasi ayaw niya gawin yun. Ayaw ko rin gawin yun. Pero ako talaga, si Kate talaga na-appreciate ko talaga siya as a person that would, I think, mahirap akong mag-gets Kuya Kim. 2007 ako nagsimula mag-comedy. Nakinig lang yung mga tao sa akin 2020, 2021. Kinailangan magkaroon ng pandemya para lang mapilitan silang. Sige nga, ano ba sinasabi nitong kulot na to?
Kaya kita napanood sa pandemic.
Pero alam ng mga tao, di ba nung pandemic sumigat ka? Pare, 2007 pa ako nagsimula. Mahirap akong mag-gets. Kaya doon ko rin na-realize na thank you, Kate, dahil na-gets mo ako.
Thank you,
I love you, Kate.
Yeah! Yan ang gusto niya marinig.
Oo naman. Totoo. Kinikilig na yan.
Yeah.
Sana. Patawarin niya ako hindi ako naglinis ng kusina ngayon.
35 years from now, how do you see Red Oliero?
Wow, hopefully healthier. I'm trying to work on my health. Hopefully then, honestly, kaya ako mahal ng stand-up because I think it's a thing that you do until you die. Parang ganun. It's always challenging. And I always envision myself dying on stage. So sana, kung ma-heart attack man ako, sana sa stage during a punchline, tas yung tipong mga tao,
Doing something that you
nag-acting ba to?
Doing something that you love.
Exactly.
I'd love to see.
Exactly. I think si Joan Rivers did it that way.
Right.
Right.
Tinira muna niya si ano. She made a political statement first eh.
Tapos tumakas siya. Hindi na siya mahabol.
Red, we talked about death.
Yeah.
Where will Red Olero go after you die?
Oh man. I'm one of the few people that doesn't believe in an afterlife, Kuya Kim. Honestly. I think in-adjust ko yung perspective mo. I grew up Catholic. I love the concept of heaven and hell. I love it. I love na it's a meritocracy for some reason. Na people, if you do good here, you'll have a better afterlife. Pero I think I have adjusted my perspective din minsan na why are we waiting for heaven? Maybe this is heaven. Baka ito na yun. It's such a great, like, hindi naman, okay fine, hindi naman sobrang ganda ng buhay ng lahat ng tao. Pero life is still such a blessing, di ba?
Yeah.
And para sa akin, maximize na yung existence mo ngayon. Hindi natin alam talaga kung ano mangyayari after. Maybe after, tignan natin. Oops! Baka mali ako.
Since you said maybe,
Yeah.
maybe after your guesting, usap tayo.
Yeah.
Because I'm a born-again Christian eh.
Oh, really?
I believe that it's not a meritocracy, bro.
Oh.
However good works, how many good works you do in this earth, it will not bring us to heaven. Because that's the very reason why Jesus died on the cross.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to pay for our sins. Because it will never be us.
That's
Yun ang
great.
paniniwala ko.
This is why I love talking. A lot of people say na parang, di ba atheist ka, you must hate Catholics. That's why I don't have jokes na talk up that shit on the faith eh. It's tawag doon, yung perspective ng people la talagang proper, may proper religious beliefs. Hindi yung mga taong talagang hindi nagisimba ako araw-araw, parang
nominal,
ganon, yeah.
Maraming nominal.
Yeah. So yung mga ganyang perspectives, I really love it. Like I like talking about it actually. Yeah.
Ako, bitin tayo. 50 minutes na.
Oh, walang problema.
But Red, maraming salamat. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
guesting.
That was easily one of the best interviews I've had.
Sobra ka naman.
Oo
Fred.
naman.
Alam mo, bago na ako sa podcasting.
Galing mo nga eh.
Bago lang ako, Chief.
Top 3 ka ata kagad eh.
No,
Ang lakas naman.
kagulat nga eh. Di ko na nakalain, Chief eh. Pero,
How do you enjoying it, talking to people?
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
You know, one thing good about podcasting, one thing that I'm enjoying about podcasting, you don't follow a script eh. Because if you follow a script, it becomes choppy eh.
Yeah,
Because there are many things that Red wants to say. If I limit myself to an outline,
Yes.
choppy.
Yeah.
But I don't blame TV for operating such a way because, mahal ang airtime eh.
Yeah, yun nga.
Dito kasi,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I enjoy it. And then, after you guest in my podcast, like you, pare friends na tayo.
Yeah.
Kasi nahugot ko na yung kaibuturan mo.
Oh, minsan parang dito mo papakita yung totoo mong anyo.
Diba,
eh.
Brad? Bro, ilang beses na kitang napanood, pero dito ko nakita yung side ni Red Oliero.
Oh, thank you. It was great questions too.
Oh, man, thank you. Maraming salamat.
Anytime na may platform na pwede kong tirahin si Jokoy. Joke lang. Joke lang yun, promise. Pakinggan niyo yung buong answer dun ha. Baka mamaya pagiging lang.
Baka out of context. Yari tayo kay Jokoy. Red, thank you. Maraming salamat. God bless.
Thank you so much.
Diyan po nagtatapos ang ating interview with Red Oliero, isang taong hinahangaan ko at ngayon mas kilala ko pat sana nakilala nyo rin. Thank you very much for joining us today. Ito po ang Ano Ba Talaga with Kuya Kim, brought to you by the Pod Network and Spotify PH. Please press the follow button and please rate the podcast. Tagay po ng 5 stars. Maraming salamat. God bless you.
The Pod Network Entertainment.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.